So in our experiment, we are focusing on the effect of cardio on our heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, and oxygen intake. And we are using specific tools to measure each of these variations.
Our planning phase included collaboration of each group member. We began by meeting to discuss our plans for the project. Our group met at a Starbucks a week before the day of the project to brainstorm and formulate an idea on what we wanted to do for our lab. We decided to look at the effect of an increased heart rate on the oxygen intake, blood pressure, and body temperature. We planned how we would control all our independent variables and decided what materials we would use during the experiment. We planned to eat the same breakfast the morning of the experiment and sleep the same amount of hours to have the same amount of energy throughout the experiment. We planned exactly which exercise we wanted to test and how we would record the data.
In order to figure out the effect of heart rate on blood pressure, body temperature, and oxygen intake, we will be doing cardio workouts and recording our heart rate before and after. Then we will be comparing the effect of the heart rate on blood pressure, body temperature, and oxygen intake. We'll do this by measuring these variables before and after various exercises, such as a 100-meter sprint on the track, 50-meter sprint on the track, jumping squats, jump rope, and jumping jacks. Our goal for this project is to basically analyze the effect of heart rate on blood pressure and determine whether or not our hypothesis was correct. So while we recorded these variations, we also recorded the average pace during the 100-meter sprint and the 50-meter sprint. So since this has a Bluetooth, we were able to look at the time. So here was the average pace while we ran, and we were able to record it after each run.
Okay, so this is a respiration belt, and using the USB cable, I can just connect it to my laptop. And downloading the Vernier data app, you can look at how a respiration moves up and down through graphs. And so we can also see its BPM and its pressure.
Okay. To calculate our blood pressure before and after running, we use this home blood pressure kit with the stethoscope.
Okay, so while recording and testing our trials, we calculated our heart rate, and to do so we use an Apple Watch. So we use the heart rate app, and this measured our heart rate.
We also use this infrared thermometer to check the body temperature.
This looks funny. Oh god, my glasses are falling off.
Want me to grab them?
The improvements we could have made to our Group 4 project was to have a more efficient way of collecting our data. We could have done this by quickly collecting our results so that our results could have been more accurate. We could have also adjusted our variables, and this includes to control the amount of water intake so that we each drank the same amount of water at the same time. We also could have, instead of using a respiration belt, we could have used a respirometer for more accurate results on oxygen intake. And then lastly, we also could have gotten in shape before the project so that our bodies would be similar during the exercising phase of the project.
Following our experiment, first and foremost, we should redo the experiment to see if the results are similar, but also test new cardio workouts to see if we have similar or exactly the same results. We also have to compare our results with other similar experiments to see if they're accurate and to also see if our hypothesis is truly correct. Then we have to discover why what happened, meaning that we have to really look at the root of why blood pressure and oxygen intake and all of these things are really changed because of an increased heart rate. And lastly, we really need to interpret our results to synthesize an explanation on all of the data that we have collected in this experiment.